And at the same time, I'm going to be the timer as well. So I also want to make sure my device is ready. Okay, I'm going to sign in with another device. Okay. Hang on. Okay, is everyone ready?
Yep, I think I'm ready.
Yay. All right, so let's just recap. The first pair will be Alicia and Lucy. The second pair is Duncan and hi, Carmen. Carmen, by the way, is our past district director, so it's an honor to have her. And she's also our area S4 winner as well. So the first pair and the second pair are ready. So with this, I bet we are all ready. Let's do a countdown, 5 seconds, and we will start immediately. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here to join our The Power of Toastmasters 100. Why is it 100? Because now we are going to celebrate the 100th anniversary. Tonight's meeting, this Speakathon is also 100 minutes. I hope we can finish it on time, if not too long. So it's my honor to kickstart everything, and we are so delighted to have our first pair, who is Alicia Curtis, and of course, her evaluator is Lucy Ho, also a district table topics winner, all the way from District 87, currently served as a president. Alicia, by the way, is the Division A director right now. She is attempting her speech, evaluation, the second speech, and evaluation will be done by Lucy, and Alicia will certainly make all of us inspire, and she's attempting introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Oh no, sorry, it's the evaluation and feedback. Okay, I got it right, Alicia? Yes, great. Awesome. With this, let's welcome Alicia on the virtual stage. Over to you, Alicia.
All right, thank you, Sister Pat. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow members, and of course guests, have you ever had a mentor in your life or in Toastmasters? Give me a show of hands if you've had a mentor in Toastmasters in your personal life. Okay, excellent. Was it a positive experience? Put it in the chat if it was a positive experience. Yes. Was it a negative experience? Yes. Okay. So I'll just introduce my particular topic today. So I've always had not very positive experiences with mentoring. It's always been something that has been negative, because I remember my first person that mentored me, and she said, "You're not that funny. You're not really going to go that far. You might just want to give up on Toastmasters." Not a great feedback to receive when you've only been in Toastmasters for 6 to 7 months. In your first 6 to 7 months, that was the first feedback that I received. And of course, the next one just said, maybe you're just not that entertaining as a speaker. I, of course, at the time took this on board and took it personally. Now I laugh at it because I think it's funny, having been an area director of the year, division director of the year, Toastmaster of the year, and every other award, and also the first ever remote leader in Toastmasters. So I took it personally, but it hasn't been until the last probably 2 years that I've had a really good experience with mentoring, and it's come through this particular individual, David. Some of you know him, some of you don't. So let me introduce you to what Toastmasters does define as mentoring. So this is what Toastmasters sees as mentoring. I'm not going to go through it in full, but it's someone who takes a personal interest in you and helps you as an inexperienced person in Toastmasters or in your personal life or your professional life, whatever it is, and they help you become a better version of yourself. They serve as your role model, your confidant, and also your coach. They provide you with knowledge, insight, perspective, and wisdom that you gain when you do transfer of knowledge, and they help you become successful and learn new skills. So this is one of the good things about Toastmasters, is there is a mentor anywhere. In fact, Patricia could be a mentor, Yannicka could be a mentor, Mariana could be a mentor. All of us can be a mentor. So let me introduce you to the one who I now call my mentor. This is David Fisher. I don't know if any of you have met him. Pat has, Yannicka has, and so has Senjuni. Some of you may have met him. I think Lucy and Shalini have also met him. So a little bit about him. In 2016 and 2018, he served as the International Director for Region 12. In 2014-2015, he led the world's largest district in Toastmasters with 325 clubs. That's a crazy amount of clubs. 80 areas, 10 divisions. So this guy led a huge team. He had almost 250 people under his whole leadership as he led this district. He was District 70 Division Governor of the Year, I think in 2011, 2012, and he also was District 70 Area Governor of the Year. Only 2 other people have achieved that. The other one was Patty Bertram, who is an elderly lady, and she was a presidential citation winner. And the other person was yours truly, and I achieved that in 2015, 2016, 2019, 2020. So I feel like I'm in an illustrious company when it comes to David. So this is our relationship. As you can see, we do get along actually quite well. There's only one way to describe our relationship. He is chalk and I am cheese. That's the best way to describe it. He's extremely black and white. He's, how would I say his personality? He's extremely introverted, reserved. He's very quiet and shy. Then you've got yours truly. I'm every color on the rainbow. I'm the gray. I paint my colors very clearly. And I'm also the holes in the cheese. We marry up very well when it comes to personalities. In fact, today I had dinner with him and it was a wonderful experience. When I've needed support, he has actually been there every step of the way over the last probably 12 months when I have called upon him. I had a bit of difficulty earlier in the year with my division director role. And as a result, of course, who gets the phone call? David. And he sits there patiently listening. Now, some of our conversations are very interesting, and some of the people here know some of the conversations can get very interesting. And today he's actually learned how to use Instagram. I taught him how to do a reel. I felt like I had achieved something with him. So yes, David and I have a great relationship. And when I need to pick up that phone and I need a question answered, he is always there. He doesn't always pick up the phone, but he's always there. He's always supportive. And when it comes to our core values, integrity, he definitely has it. He's very respectful. He gives that service, but above all, he focuses on excellence. And that's the quality of a leader that I want, especially going forward if I plan to run for the trio, which I do plan in 2024, 2025 in District 49. So I really encourage everyone to consider getting a mentor. It doesn't matter who they are, where they come from. It doesn't matter if it's in your personal life, your professional life, or your Toastmasters career, because they may be the person that helps you. As I keep on saying, Toastmasters mentoring, or our mentoring relationship, is a relationship. It is 2 imperfect people coming together to be the best versions of themselves. When we speak to each other, we don't speak in I terms, we speak as we, our, and are, because together we can achieve so much together and so much more. So I highly encourage everyone to consider getting a mentor, and above all, consider walking together, hand by hand, side by side, not as I, but as us, we, and our, because you never know. The next person in Toastmasters may, in this room, may be the international president, and you need someone to be there each step of the way. Back to you, Pat.
Wow, thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you so much for sharing with us your mentoring experience with Distinguished Toastmaster David. Now, we shall all now have a few moments to give Alicia some feedback. Maybe you really like her speech, or maybe there are some words that you would like to encourage Alicia. So I do encourage you to make full use of the chat box. And while we get Lucy to get ready, we know Lucy is drinking some water now. And also let me get ready. So Yannicka, would you be able to help me to be the timer for Lucy? Thank you so much, Yannicka. So with this, Lucy, over to you, 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alicia. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to evaluate you. And I believe most of us here have attempted this project a couple of times. And I think Alicia really gave us a very good example on how we can handle a project on mentoring. So Alicia's first feedback was she spoke a little bit too fast. But for me today, I felt that I can follow your pace. Right from the first word until the end, I can follow through. So I think your pace is wonderful for me. I'm not sure about the rest. Yeah, so I think you did great on that. So what I like about your speech is, I remember I attended one of your speech on this mentoring project, and that time you talk about 3 mentors. Forgot which club. Yeah, and then this time you streamline to just 1. I think it is perfect. Yeah, I was thinking of doing 2, but now you get 1. It's like you can elaborate on this, David, from many perspectives. So I think it is really a good example for us. Sometimes it's not just by adding too many content, but we focus on 1 and elaborate it. So now all of us have a better understanding on how a wonderful mentor you have, David. And of course, I like how you included the picture, because the 2 photos speaks 1,000 words. Like we can see you guys having a good food together, having a chat, you're humorous in your way of delivering and introducing your mentor to us. Yes, so maybe one area you can talk about to improve is actually, I mentioned here, you mentioned about you had a lot of interesting conversations with him. So I was like putting a question mark there. Oh, I'm so interested to know, what are those conversations about? Yeah, so if you can just give us 1 or 2, perhaps that will satisfy our curiosity. Yeah, anyway, you later on shared about how you taught him to start an Instagram. I thought that is wonderful. Yeah, to have a protege guide sharing your expertise to your mentor. Yeah, it really shows the connection between the both of you. And last but not least, I really love your conclusion in which you give us a call to action to have a mentor who will be with us to guide us. And actually, we shouldn't be on our own, but we should work hand in hand. So in conclusion, Alicia, I love how you structure your speech, how you focus on 1 character, 1 mentor, and elaborate it well. So maybe the only thing is just to give us a dialogue inside, like what is the spicy, juicy, interesting conversation you have. Congratulations, Alicia. Thank you for the opportunity.
Wow, thank you so much, Lucy. And you were within time. Congratulations. For your information, Lucy was actually District 87 Table Topics champion. She even beat Dato John Lau. Okay, just between us. Okay, yes, of course, next up, we're going to take this very, very memorable moment. Let's have Alicia and Lucy spotlighted, because we want to take a photo of the speaker and the evaluator. Yes. And Patsy, would you be able to help us?
Yeah, I can take a photo, but I need someone to spotlight
Yeah.
Lucy and Alicia first. Then I will call when it's ready.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Oh,
Yay.
tag. Okay, great. That's I see our tag face as well. 1, 2. Oh, great, beautiful. 3. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Great, well done.
Thank you, Patsy. Thank you. First pair, right? Now we're going to move on to the second pair. Well, this combination is really exciting. It's Duncan and our past district director, Carmen Lu. I'm really excited because Carmen just won her area S4 or S3, I can't remember. She was actually the speech champion. So anytime, you never know, she may be the District 51 evaluation champion. Okay, now having said that, Carmen, she will be evaluating Duncan. Duncan is attempting a speech as well. So Duncan, I know you are ready. Great. So with this, let's have, Duncan spotlighted. Okay, great. Duncan, you two have 5 to 7 minutes. So let's welcome Duncan on the virtual stage. Duncan, over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters. My professional life as a geologist, it has spanned more than 4 decades. In fact, as I'm speaking to you now, I'm entering the second half of my 5th decade. Yeah, I'm really ancient. And in all that time, I've had many really quite wonderful coaches, but very few mentors, perhaps just 1. Now, when I go back and look at my early years as a monologuing geologist working on offshore oil rigs in the Sea of Japan, I recall my then unit supervisor, John. John taught me just about everything he knew about wellsite geology, wellsite operations. And then when I moved out from the field and came and worked in the office in Singapore, my then colleague, Dave, sat me down at the microscope and he taught me how to identify certain minerals, how to recognize fossils, and he helped to develop me into a sedimentary petrologist. And more recently, there was Steve, my colleague at Carigali Hess in Kuala Lumpur. Carigali Hess is an operating company. I had been working for a service company, and Steve helped me to make that transition from service company to operating company. Service companies, operating companies, they're no more difficult to work for than the other. They're just different. And you need time to make that transition. Steve helped me with that. But he also taught me the fundamentals of seismic interpretation. Seismic, it's like ultrasound for the underground. It shows you a sound picture of what's up beneath the earth. But it comes with quite a few rules, guidelines that you have to understand to be able to make a good interpretation. Now, all three of those gentlemen, they were excellent coaches, but I couldn't really describe them as mentors. Each of them had specific tasks for me to do, and they had a specific goal for me as a geologist. So, for example, John and Dave, their goal was to make me into a competent geologist. Whereas Steve, his focus was to make me into a useful member of his team. But I couldn't call them mentors. However, there was one individual who did become my mentor, and he was a mentor for several years. And he came from an unlikely quarter. I first met Tony in Singapore back in the mid-1980s. We were both working at the same office, but we were in different departments. Tony was an engineer, I was a geologist. Tony lived quite close to me, so he often used to give me a lift in the mornings to work. And one day, I mentioned to him, "Hey, Tony, I'm often tired at work. I feel physically tired, but I'm really fit. I go exercising every day." "Ah," said Tony, "maybe you're doing too much. Have you thought about injecting a few rest days here or there?" Now, that's just an example, a sampler, if you like, of Tony's method. Fast forward 10 years. I'm working for Tony in Perth, Australia. Tony's been elevated to regional manager. I'm one of perhaps 20 people who report to him. And one day, Tony came to me and asked me, "Hey, Duncan, would you like to give a presentation, a paper to the upcoming SPE conference? That report you did for XYZ company, it was really good and will make a really excellent subject for a paper." "Of course," I said, quaking in my boots. I had never given a presentation before, and certainly not to such a large and eminent organization like the SPE. I was petrified. "Don't worry," he said. "I've done these things before. I'll be your co-author. I'll help you out on this." And so he did. My first draft was a mess. It was all over the place. But he not only did he coach me through it, he also mentored me. He showed me through his guidance. He dropped hints, gave suggestions. We didn't win Best Paper Award, but by golly, we weren't bad. And through all of that, he was never judgmental. Tony was an unlikely mentor, but he was a good one. and I owe a lot to him for it. So thank you, Tony, and thank you, audience, for listening to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Duncan. That was a beautiful speech and unlikely mentor. Folks, let's give some feedback to Duncan while Carmen will get ready her evaluation in about 20 seconds. All right, so do feel free to give your feedback to Duncan, and Yanika would help with the timing of the evaluator. Carmen, you will have 2 to 3 minutes. Carmen, are you ready? Okay, great. Looks like Carmen's ready whenever you're ready. Thank you, Carmen. Over to you.
Duncan, and I'm likely mentor. Mentor is always a word which is very close to my heart because I have a few mentors once I joined Toastmasters, and they helped me to excel not only in Toastmasters but also in my personal life. Well, I learned that you have used two points to make your speech more engaging. The first thing, you have great voice, Duncan. I like the way that you use your voice. You say, very few mentors, slow and soft. You are taking your voice with different volume level and also with the pace so that I can follow your speech better. And you also incorporated gestures, which you say, they just different. And you show your hand just like this. And I felt that, wow, it's impactful because when you said that, your voice, you pause it to create the impact, and you put in the gestures. And this really was very impactful. And you even frowned at certain point when you shared, like we went different department. So all these are actually helping to enhance the value of the speech. And secondly, you switch your position when you are narrating the different dialogues. So this show me that, wow, there are different characters and I can separate and I can distinguish them very clearly. Thanks for that. Well, in terms of improvement, there are 3 areas I would like to highlight you for improvement. First thing is, I would like to see you with more friendly smile because you will just have your face and smile from beginning until the end. I was thinking, when are you smiling? So I believe that I feel that if you engage the audience with a smile, and this speech will be more engaging. Second thing is, I find that towards the end of the speech, you kind of lost of thought and you make pauses and you also like look aside. So I will encourage you, when you lost your thought, never mind, just look at the audience, put on a smile, pause for a while and continue. Not to look at the side, because this tells me as an audience that, wow, you are searching for thought. And the third thing is, you ended the speech abruptly. I was like, hey, how come it just ended like that? I will encourage you to put in a conclusion, a strong conclusion, how these mentors impact you, how these people make impact in your life and change your life and perspective. And that would be a more engaging one. So, Duncan, thank you for your speech, telling me about mentors who are great people who bring me to who I am today. I believe that they did the same to you and all the others in the chat room as well. Thank you very much, and I look forward for your future speeches. Thank you. Back to you.
You're muted, Pratusha.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're going to quickly take a photo of Carmen and Duncan. I love the interaction between them, so I know certainly Duncan has learned a lot from Carmen. So let's take a photo.
Okay, great. I'm going to count. 1, have a very beautiful and a very soft smile to celebrate our mentorship. 2, and 3. Thank you very much. Great. Thanks.
Beautiful. Thank you, our second pair, Duncan and Carmen, and thank you, Patsy, as well. So let's welcome the third pair. Shamini will be evaluating Sanduni. I'm really excited because Shamini is actually also my mentors one of my mentors, and she has helped me so much in my journey as a speaker. So I know Sanduni, you're all ready. Sanduni will be attempting a level 1 speech on vocal variety and also body gestures. And I know Shamini is ready already. So let's welcome Sanduni to the virtual stage with the speech title, The Written Pages. The Written Pages. Sanduni, over to you.
Do you have dreams in your life? Yes, I do believe we all have dreams in our lives because dreams make us move forward, if not one, the other. Dear Toastmasters, my dear Toastmasters and dear guests, stop for a while and think what made you dream about your life. For me, there are several places and several people who made me to dream about my life. So today I'm going to take you to visit those places and people. There, in the middle of Indian Ocean, there is a small island called Sri Lanka. And in the southern province of that little island, there is a city called Galle. And in that city, on the top of a mountain, there is my home. And in that home, there are the people who add value to my life. There you can see my mother, who fed me with love and kindness. And my father, he's a very hard worker. And you can see my brother, who is having his kid, and he just started his life with his loving wife. And these are the people who made my life a paradise. And after spending 5 years as an infant, I entered to my school, Sangamita Girls College Galle. 1 year, in front of thousands of children, I just heard a voice. The best athlete for year 2012, Talangalamcharge Sandri Hansika Madhishani. So it was so exciting. I was awarded as the best athlete at school. And for 13 years of time, I learned a lot of subjects, and mathematics was my favorite. At the end of school life, we were selected for our university. So for that, I studied biological sciences in order to attend for medical school. But unfortunately, I was unable to make it. But fortunately, I got selected to the Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka. You won't believe the environment there. Where I lived for the past years is in a coastal area, and it's mountainous, cloudy, misty, and it's freezing cold. So I was thinking how I'm going to make these 4 years here. But thanks to my friends who was always with me there, I was able to make it a reality. In my university life, I was able to join with some projects that made my eyes opened. One was in order to for sustainable development goals with United Nations. So I represented my university as a university ambassador, and I got to reach the people in order to uplift their lives. The second one was to uplift the small and medium enterprises in order to maximize their productivity, to reduce the destruction caused by the polythene and plastic, to the natural environment. And related to books, I was able to reach each and every corner of the country with the farmers who are dedicating to make this country a sustainable place in agriculture. So with all these, my eye opened and I realized the ultimate goal of my life is to save this nation and serve my country and the world. So I believe Toastmastering, which I got, is a best platform for me to make that my burning desire inside me to the world. So I can reach with you all. I know Toastmasters are good communicators and leaders. So I can reach each and every corner of the world as a good communicator to make this world a better place. Over to you, Patricia.
Thank you, Sanduni. Thank you. The written pages, beautiful. We shall now give Sanduni some feedback if you'd like to encourage her. And we will also invite her evaluator, Shamini, a business coach in Bangalore at the moment, to get ready in 20 seconds. We will be inviting you to the virtual stage. Thank you so much. Great. So with this, we shall now invite Shamini to be on the virtual stage. Over to you, Shamini.
Thank you, Pat. Sanduni, it's so good to hear you speak again. Now, the written pages, when I first saw the topic, I was very, very curious, intrigued to know what the written pages were about. What I liked about your speech today is really it's about, seeing how good you were, vocal variety and body language, right? So first thing I liked is you stood and spoke, and that's so necessary for this particular purpose of this project. So I like that you did that, and you did it quite confidently. I like some of the body language, the natural body language that you had, and I like the pacing of your voice, when you were speaking throughout the speech. The second thing I liked about your speech, it had some structure, like chronologically, about your family. It was like a little bit of an icebreaker, so it was kind of nice that I got to know you better, and I love icebreakers. So that was so nice that you shared with us your whole life, so to speak, till now, in that 7 minutes that you had. The third thing that I liked is the pictures that you shared, because it gave us a lot of visuals that, kind of piqued our interest, and it helped when you spoke about what you spoke to show those visuals, and we didn't have to imagine, we could actually see what they were, who they were, the people in it, the places that you showed, and what you were doing. And I finally liked your message in the end, because you said your purpose in life was to serve the country and then serve the world. And you found that Toastmasters helped you do that. So that was very nicely put, Sanduni. I always like to hear you speak. Now, I have a few suggestions, because this is about vocal variety and body language. And well, there was some very similar body language. There wasn't variety in it. You kept, like putting your hands like this, like together, like this. Yeah. So that was kind of repetitive. You can just, like, for instance, when you said number one, the first thing was this. So you could have just showed your fingers, like the first thing was this. The second thing in my life was this, things like that. So make it a bit varied. Then about your vocal variety, the pacing was quite nice, but sometimes you needed to have like higher pitch, like excitement when you said, I was so excited. You could have said it because it was like kind of the same pitch, not monotonous, but a little bit the same pitch in some places. And, like you went to the environment, like there's some excitement you could have shown, like, so that would have made it more like masala in the speech, right? So that you could have played around with your voice. Yeah. And the one very, very important thing, although I loved your pictures, I thought there was too much, because I wanted to see you as a speaker, and I couldn't do that today so much because there was so many pictures at the back. If you just put one picture with majority of the background plain, then I could have focused on you as a speaker and also got, the PowerPoint is to enhance your speech, not to overwhelm it. So I would have advised you, like, be careful if you have a PowerPoint presentation. It shouldn't just overwhelm the screen for us because we want to focus on you as a speaker. Overall, I loved your speech, Sanduni, because I got to know you so much better and you're doing well. Just keep on doing what you do. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Shamini. And also Sanduni. I know Sanduni certainly learned a lot. And let's take a photo of Sanduni and Sharmini.
Okay, are you ready? Shamani, Sandoni, 1. Oh, great. 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patsy. Now we want to invite our fourth pair, who is Sean, our latest addition to our advanced hashtag ardent speakers. And also Sean will be evaluated, certainly also by one of the very, very prominent evaluator in Division N. Hui-san, Sunny. Sunny, are you ready? I think she's always ready. Okay, great. Now with this, we want to certainly welcome Shan. Shan is bringing us a very interesting, exciting topic. A frozen planet. A frozen planet. Shan, go ahead and unmute and over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. What would you do if you face something in your life that you really don't want to remember? That it may be a hard hit, a great feature, an unbelievable experience when you miss. What would you do? In 2299 AD, the Star Wars has been for 100 years. I am a pilot with a battle over and over again. My spaceship was hit and crashed on an unknown planet. With my open the door and take off the helmet, a strange sight appeared in my eyes. The sky is full of picture and video. Only for a girl, I don't know why. Her smiles, crying, hiking, and so on, all of her life moments in the picture, in the video, showing in the sky. All the stones on the ground are written many questions, such like, when is a girl's birthday? Which dress she like? What are her good points? The more I walk in, the more I find out. It is spreading all the entire space. I sat on the storm that is written, do you love her? Waiting for rescues. Gradually, I remember that the girl, I have loved her so much before, but we broke up. I remember all the answer of this question. I remember it's not tough anymore in my mind. I understand. I broke everything about her in the planet. That is my one of frozen planets. All this is in my dream. In reality, a tear escaped from the corner of my eyes, silently at midnight. Frozen plants, that is my way to look on one stuff. It made me to be cold and indifferent when I am overwhelmed. But since joining Toastmasters, it changed me a lot in this year, especially communication. I know I need to learn more about emotion in the communication. I know it is the major for the communication. I know. For me, true emotions are placed in those foreign planets. But I want to be better in communication. So I need to open it, mail it, or break it. It is full of plan. Once I don't want to touch. This is very hurtful. Now, let me ask myself, do I have the courage to open those plans? My answer is, I will. Thank you for everyone. Back to the Toastmaster of day. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Sean. I know this is the first time you're giving your speech. I am very inspired because certainly you have done so well as a storyteller. Well, of course, to offer more feedback, I'm going to leave it to Hui-sang, but let us all encourage Sean. What do you think he did really well this time? And we will pause here for 20 seconds. And I know Hui-sang is ever ready. So whenever you're ready, Hui-sang, take over the stage. And in the meantime, yes, go ahead and send your comment to Sean so that he can continue his journey in Toastmasters. Over to you, Hui-sang.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Pat. And can I see? Yeah, I can see Sean. Sean?
Yes.
Congratulations, Sean, for doing your first speech over this topic. There are so many things that I like about your speech being the first timer. One is the metaphor that you're using, the frozen planets, plus a lot of descriptions about a self-reflective way that you're asking the audience. You're through asking questions for audience to reflect upon your point. So I guess that metaphor, use it well, plus the structure that you're putting into your speech by reflectory questions. So audience will get the reflection, so we get our answer ourselves. So this is the second part. It's great about your speech. And I also do like how you prepared yourself for this speech by putting on your prop, by putting on everything that you could to make the speech diverse and rich. And I do also like how you put the speech onto two parts. One is you describe it so much in your dreams. Those are all the past you, the old you. And now you're able to move forward by telling the audience, hey, Sean, I have transformed. Through joining Toastmaster, you find a new you. So I guess it is a very successful way of you by structure your story to have this pain and you put us forth to the pleasure and you ended up by questions again. So those are the three parts that I love about you presenting yourself. Now, I do also like to comment or give some inputs on area for improvement, Sean. First is about the body language, especially the engagement through the eyes contact. So I noticed that you're looking down most time. So it may give an impression that you're reading out the script. So if you can focus more on, like I'm doing right now, on the camera. So just lift up eyes a little bit on the camera. So you give a sense of, hey, Sean is talking to me now. Sean is talking to me. So that increase the level of engagement. I also, second point, Sean, I also do like you to use more of your hand gesture as well. And when you are not using your prop, that could be removed away. So it's about using your hand. The third thing, whereby is the last one, I find that when you're describing your first part of it, it sounded for me a little bit complicated because there are a lot of description that you put for they are clouded. I couldn't get a clear message across. So my suggestion is to put it in a more simple manner. The second part was good. Only the first part, it sounded to me a little bit clouded and complicated. So I would like to hear more of it being simplified in a way. So in conclusion, Sean, good job. So you have a lot of good quality as a good speaker. That includes you have been able to put a metaphor, reflective questions, engaging audience through your prop. But I do also like to hear more of you using your eyes contact, your hand gesture, and also simplify your first part of your speech the same. Good job. Thank you. Back to you, Pat.
Thank you. Thank you, Hui-san. I can see the big smile
Thank you.
from Sean. Well done, Sean. Let's take a photo now. Thank you so much, Patsy, and she'll be the next speaker as well.
Great. I have a big smile too. Are you ready, Sean and Sunny? I'm gonna count. 1, 2, beautiful. 3. Thank you, Spaceman Sean and Sunny. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fantastic. There goes your next pair is, yes, Ivan and Patsy. Thank you so much, Patsy, for getting ready. So Patsy is attempting a great speech, inspire your audience. Very interesting speech for sure. And let's get Ivan to get ready as well. Ivan, I know you are ever ready already. So with this, let's welcome Patsy on the virtual stage with a speech title, Reconnect Harmony. Reconnect Harmony. Over to you, Patsy.
January is the best part of the month. Best part of the year. Do you know that? You know why? New year, new plan. My new year plan is to reconnect an old friend. Her name is Harmony. In 2000, I used to work in one of the 5-star hotel in Taiwan, 600 rooms. On January 1st, I received a notice from Human Resources. I was promoted to a position called training manager. Wow. Will you be so surprised and so happy if you got a promotion January 1st? Celebrating, right? Me too. I was so excited. I was cheer up and trying to build all the connections for these training positions. 2 weeks later, I was delivering a speech in front of 25 people. All of a sudden, my hands started shivering. My body is shaking. I was actually in the breath. What happened was I actually suffered from a panic attack. The worst thing I found out myself was I had anxiety speaking in front of people. I have a stage fright. For the months, I even have to carry a McDonald's bag with me because my lungs was like running a marathon. And without notifying the rest of my body, I was starting the hyperventilating. Take my CO2 in the bag. That's how bad I was. I was even thinking I probably have to quit my job. I couldn't even handle that situation anymore. Life was starting devastating, frustrating. One day, my colleague came to the office. He gave me a book. He said, Patsy, read it. Help me, might help you. Then is a restaurant manager who managed about 30 employees, not to mention he had to deal with the customer complaints every day. And I took his book, Meditation. Duncan, do you do meditation? Yes, Patsy. Well, it helped me a lot. Why don't you just read it and try to practice meditation? Might help you. But since that day, I started doing my meditation. In the beginning, my mind was just traveling all the way. And I realized it was just an icebreaker. I need to find a master to coach me. Then later, I do have a coach to teach me how to do meditation correctly. Meditation It's a companion. It's a faithful friend that brought me to a harmony. Ever since, whenever my mind is in the tremblance, as long as I just grabbed myself a chair, sat in the corner, I start thinking about mantra, breathing in, breathing out. I can feel the serenity and harmony, fullness. Friends, last year, I was thinking what my New Year resolution is going to be. I connected to my best friend, Harmony. What's your plan for this year? Are you going to connect a best friend as well? What is yours? Back to Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patsy. Thank you for reminding us the importance to reconnect with ourselves. And of course, to evaluate, Patsy will be Ivan. But before that, let's also pause for 20 seconds to give Patsy some feedback. If you really benefited from her speech, let her know. And perhaps you also want to encourage her with some words of encouragement. We will also like to get ready. The next pair is certainly Arifa and Yanika, and I know the two young girls are ready. So with this, Ivan, feel free to unmute yourself and you may evaluate Patsy anytime. Thank you. Over to you, Ivan.
So evaluate Patsy using the three keywords PAT for PAT. Now, first P, projecting. Now, what I can see was Patsy was able to project a very inspiring story by standing up to deliver her speech. Now, if she has sat down to deliver the speech, the impact may not be what it was. So kudos to Patsy for standing up to deliver the speech. And of course, every personal story is always a good story. So to inspire the audience, you have chosen to use your own personal stories, and that was a very good choice. Second words A, I can see throughout the speech, you have made a very ardent presentations. We can see your enthusiasm, how passionate you was when delivering the speech, because it was your own stories. So that was very good. And coupled with differing tones that you were using, so we can feel, you have the up and downs, how you were feeling when you were going through all the different phases. And of course, you were able to use a lot of facial expressions as well. You were happy, when you were scared, when you were enthusiastic, and then you found something new, right? And also, especially like when you were meditating, you found something new. So these all make up of how you were able to deliver the whole speech. However, I would like to recommend you to try one thing very important, because you were dragging the whole speech for a little bit too long in the beginning. And that because of the 7 minutes that you have, your conclusion was a little bit abrupt. So we were not able to, okay, what you want to tell me, right? What you would want to tell us to do, right? So that was a little bit abrupt in the conclusion part. So if you were to shorten a little bit on the opening or the beginning part of the speech and add a very good conclusion, that will make the whole speech very, very impactful. And in summary, remember, Patsy, you were able to deliver a very enthusiastic speech with very good expressions. And to try to work on your conclusion to make it a better speech. With that, I'd like to conclude and pass back to our Toastmaster of the evening, Patricia. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to our past area director as well, and certainly our club champion for ITC Bintang. We're so excited for you who will be competing soon. So with this, let's take a photo as well. Patsy and Ivan. Patsy, I will do it for you. I hope it's fun. Or Yanika, can you help us to take a photo?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ivan. Yeah.
1, 2,
Best of luck.
3. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's put in a chat box. Thank you so much. With this, we want to welcome our next pair, who is Arifah. Yes, Arifah is our current area director for P3, certainly serving our club as well. Thank you for being a great leader. And she's also doing master at the same time, not one, but 2 masters. So I'm also very happy when I hear that. But having said that, Arifah is a great leader, and she's going to attempt one of my best speeches that I always like is on researching and presenting. And of course, to evaluate Arifah, I got another MBA student who is also doing a master. And we're so honored to have also an area director in District 49, Yanika, to evaluate Arifah. I know Yanika is ready and Arifah is also ready. So let's welcome Arifah to the virtual stage with a title, Building Information Modeling. Building Information Modeling. Arifah.
Thank you. Allow me to share my screen. Wow, this is my first time presenting with Toastmaster members. Things about that I researched for my master thesis. So a very good evening, everyone. So as you can see, MY Beam Malaysia, what does it mean? It's actually a case study happened in Malaysia. So today I would like to share what I found out and what I'm passionate to research about. It's actually BIM, Building Information Modeling. So if I told you about phone revolution, most of us would feel close to our heart, you know, how it come by with just, we can only do calls, a short text message, and now it already been called smartphone where we can do everything in this small size thingy called phone. So how about construction? Do we know how construction evolved? What kind of revolution that we have? So if I could give you a little bit teaser, this is how it goes. First, years ago, it's actually the architect need to draw on big paper, a 2D drawing for them to even came out with a building drawing. And then years now, they are using computer, and yet it's only 2D. So today, I would like to introduce you what is BIM, Building Information Modeling. To make you understand easier, I feel that this is the best short video for you to understand better what is BIM, where the drawing is actually being drawn 2D, and yet you can see it in 3D. And furthermore, all the information needed is within one click. So this is BIM, if I say it in a layman terms. So allow me to bring you much more further understanding what is BIM, so that whenever you have the opportunity to tell people what is BIM, Building Information Modeling, you can engage more, especially in regards of your own country, in this context, Malaysia. So building information modeling is a modeling technology and associate set of processes to produce, communicate, analyze, and use of digital information model throughout construction project life cycle. Well, It sounds scientific and a lot of terms that we need to debrief one by one. So I already collected 3 main points to make sure you understand what is building information modeling. The 3 key points are modeling technology, digital information model, and construction project life cycles. These are the 3 key terms that you need to understand what is building information modeling. The first one is modeling technology, referring to the modeling tools. So what are modeling tools? I give you one diagram for you to understand better. Does it make you understand better when I say this is the tools, this is the technology? Well, there's a lot of software in the world need to be integrated together to ensure that this technology can work on each other. So this is quite bizarre for us to understand better. So let me bring you a little bit simpler. Does this picture make you understand it better? So this is only 2 technology involved, which is the VR and also the design software, where when you design and you seems like, hey, did I make any mistake? Are there any clashes with my drawing? And you use VR to visualize it. This is part of BIM technology, building information technology. So these are another picture for you to understand it better. We can actually learn a lot or notice a lot when we are doing our designing in our building project. As you can see in the picture, 2 engineers are discussing about what's wrong with the building that they have designed. So another architect are actually having their virtual tour in their own VR and their own laptop. Another picture is talking about the efficiency of a building. So this is what we call the technology itself. The second term is the digital information model. So when we have 2D drawing, we only able to have concept or preliminary stage of drawing. So if you involve with building information modeling, you can have as much information, as much details you could have. When it will be expired, who is the manufacturer, when we need to do maintenance, what are the costs, when are the installation. Every information is embedded in the building itself, in the object itself. So these are the second thing that you need to know about BIM. The digital information model, meaning whatever you draw, the information is embedded in the object that you draw. So this is a much better or clearer view of what the models is, what I am talking about. The next thing that I would like to implore is the construction project life cycle. What does it mean? So meaning from stage 0 up until stage 7, the model, the information, the tools, the software, throughout the whole project, you will be utilizing it. So this is quite wordy. How about I give you a picture for you to understand it better? So this is what we call construction project life cycle. The information, the tools, the software, and all the data will be used starting from the design stage, the conceptual stage, up until operation, maintenance, and even demolition. So having said that, why am I sharing it with you and why it is my passion to actually share with all of you today? Well, this is because in Malaysia, we are having few success stories. First is the Signature Tower Exchange 106. This is one of the earliest stage or pioneer project in Malaysia doing BEAM. The second famous success story is the MRT Putrajaya Lane. It is also constructed using BEAM. Saying all that, I only have 2 success stories, and you wondered, why am I only share 2 success stories? Well, here's come the heaviest part that I want to share to you. It's actually the implementation of BEAM is lacking in Malaysia. As you can see, the period of Malaysia BEAM implementation compared to the global level of BEAM implementation, 72% haven't yet even adopted in Malaysia. And yet, if you can see in Brazil, 70% of them already adopted within 1 or 2 years. This is how the condition in Malaysia have been. And if this is the global level, how about I bring you to a much smaller level in Malaysia? As you can see, the biggest consumer in Malaysia only in our mega city or in our big city, which is Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. The rest is less than 8% which are utilizing BEAM. But
Arifa, we are running out of time. Would you be able to wrap up?
yeah, it's already wrap up already. So all in all, in our 12 Malaysia plan is having dreams to adopt BEAM 80% rate by 2025, which is next year. But however, it's a low implementation. Hence, this is why I'm sharing with you. If you meet anyone Malaysian who actually involved with construction industry, do tell them, do encourage them to use BEAM. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arifa, for your very passionate sharing. Certainly great information to all of us. Thank you. And do apologize for my abrupt interruption as well, because we are very tight on time. So with this, I'm going to invite Yanika to jump straight into your evaluation. Go ahead, Yanika.
Thank you, Patricia. Asif, I really liked your speech. You had that passion. As soon as you started, I saw that passion in you. Your vocal variety was good. I think what you could have improved on was with the PowerPoint, I know it's quite difficult, is look at the camera. Because when I was seeing you as you spoke, your eye level was not at the camera length. It felt like you were looking down and to the PowerPoint as well. Your bodies, you were moving your head quite a lot with the same gestures. Your hand gestures was good. And also slow down and emphasize on the important points, because I felt like that would make it a really good and stronger topic. What I want to challenge you is the transitioning. I know you had a lot to say on your speech. What I would suggest, if you were going to give this 5 to 7 minute speech again, is break it down as you can go, because sometimes 5 to 7 minute speech with a lot of things to talk about, and at the research and presenting, it might be too much. Just try to break 3 bullet points to 3 things. One, what your speech is, what the definition is. The second one is the success, why. The third one would be the success story. So you get the audience more engaged into that, because I felt like it was a lot of information. It was very heavily on information. If you could have done that, I think your speech would have really gotten that level. So back to you.
Thank you so much, Yanika. Now let's take a photo between Arifa and Yanika. Yay, I love the pair.
Okay, 1, 2, smile. Great, beautiful smile. Thank you so much. Okay, great.
No, certainly I want to encourage Arifa. I feel very bad to stop you, but I want to know you are giving such a great information. And anytime you can turn it into a keynote speech, Arifa. And we all love you, so we want to send you love to challenge you so that next time, if you can, do your best to stay within time. Is that okay? Are you okay with the challenge? Yay! All right, let's send a lot of love to everyone as well, okay? I know time is so difficult to manage sometimes, but with this, we're going to see how the challenging pair is going to take care. So next up, who would be the next pair? Of course, it's going to be Sokwar and Hasman. Sokwar, I know you are ready already, so I'm going to invite Sokwar onto the virtual stage. And Hasman, are you ready? I know Hasman was ready a long time ago. Okay, great. So Kwa, we're going to jump in immediately. She's attempting a persuasive speaking. Embrace and love change. Embrace and love change. Over to you, Sokwa.
Thank you, Pat. Raise your hand if you love change. Raise your hand. Oh, looks like only Pat and Shisi. Yeah, definitely. That's where I'm here today. Today, I'm going to share with you a speech on persuading every one of you here tonight who love and embrace change. Robin Sharma, the best-selling author, once said, change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. So I believe every one of us here would like to be a gorgeous person. Thank you once again for joining me today as we delve into this topic that people always talk about, change. It is an inevitable and it's a constant part of our lives, both personally and professionally. Embracing change rather than resisting it is so important because it can help us to open new doors, spark our creativity, as well as lead to personal and career growth. And today, let's start by acknowledging the reality. It's hard. Change is really challenging. It's like change. Yesterday's traffic was okay. Today, it's horrible. This is part of the change. Initially, I thought I would be a speaker at 10:30 p.m. and I started speaking at 10:41. So this is change. Ladies and gentlemen, change disrupts our routine. It challenges our comfort zone. And it often takes us into unknown, which makes us feel fearful, uncomfortable, and we just want to stay put. So how do we learn to not just accept change or give up, but love and embrace it? So let me introduce to you this formula by myself, AAA. AAA battery will definitely give you energy to move on in life. First and foremost, awareness. Change begins with a need or a necessity driven by evolving circumstances. Some people, they only change when they have no choice. People will ask you, why do you need to move away from that house? Then they said, no choice, or I was chased away by my landlord. So do we want to wait until the circumstances force us into change? For example, in our day-to-day lives, technology is also evolving rapidly. And today, we are online via Zoom is also because of part of the change. And those who are able to embrace to new change will often have this competitive advantage to adapt to things more easily, and of course, learn new things and evolve compared to the rest. So ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to every one of you because you are also adapting to change perfectly well. So my second A today is adaptability. As mentioned just now, from awareness, you need to take action and learn how to adapt. Easier said than done. How do we adapt? You can imagine if you have been to the forest or if you have seen the water flowing in the river, you will notice water, it flows and navigates through obstacles to reach to the sea, from the mountain to the sea. For our careers and also personal life, adaptability allows us to navigate through challenges and even find new paths. So, for example, our online Toastmasters meeting, I think we are becoming more efficient in having so many speakers in just 1 hour plus. I think that is also one of the new change that we have quickly adapted to. And there's one quote by Mandy Hale who said, change is painful, especially in the beginning, but nothing is as painful
as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong to. My last A, attitude. Adapt or adopt a positive attitude towards change. So rather than think that change is so painful, we have no choice to do it, why not switch that mindset to be a positive mindset, to treat it as a learning opportunity for continuous growth. So imagine a book that never changes its chapters. It becomes so predictable and loses its allure. So similarly in our life, if we can adapt and learn new skills, we will definitely make life more exciting. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, challenge or change is not merely something to overcome, but I hope we can see it as an invitation to evolve as a new person and make life more interesting. There are a lot of challenges and obstacles, but let's navigate it with awareness, adaptability, and definitely maintain a positive attitude towards change. Love change, embrace change, and be the change. Thank you. Back to you, Pat.
Wow, you just reminded me with Mother Teresa, be the change. Thank you so much with this. Let's see if Hasman is ready. Whenever you are ready, Hasman. All right, feel free to unmute yourself. Hasman just recently emerged as the Area P1 champion. Welcome, and over to you, Hasman.
Thank you, Pat. Sokwa, your title was to embrace and love change. So when I saw that title, I was ready to be persuaded to love change because I hate it a lot. So I was really looking forward to your speech. In your speech, I felt that if you had these three things, I would definitely love change. The first one was relate, second was reflect, and third was believe. Now I'll go into each point. For relate itself, I felt you had a lot of stories that were relatable. For example, you talked about traffic, you talked about landlord, you talked about the technology change. I can definitely relate to it in my daily life. So you definitely got the first point. The second, reflect, because once I'm able to relate, then I need to have the time to reflect whether what I'm doing is right or wrong. And that's where you did well. When you talked about the book, the pages that never turns, or it's always the same few pages, eventually it becomes stale. So I was able to relate it back to my own experience and reflect on my actions. Now, the third point, which is belief. Now, this is the point where I felt it was a bit lacking because there was no point in your story where you had something very concrete, very personal that can hook to me and make me say that I need to change and I need to love that change. What I would suggest for you to do is, instead of coming up with so many examples for me to relate to each one, come up with one really strong emotional story about yourself. For example, you're working all the time, you have no time for your family until something changed, which you can't ever go back. That's where you found out we have to embrace change. So you were able to allow me to relate to your story, reflect on my actions. What I would hope that you could incorporate is a bit of emotion. That's all I have. Back to you, Pat.
Thank you, Hasman. Thank you. Let's take a group photo for Sokwa and Hasman. Go ahead.
Okay, Hasman, are you ready? 1, 2, yeah, have a big smile. Thank you. 3, wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you. It's never easy to evaluate, but thank you so much, Hasman, for really do a great job. Okay, now we shall invite our next speaker, who is actually our VPE, Suisin. Suisin, I know you are ready, and your evaluator, Carlos, is not able to make it, so I'm going to sit and be your evaluator as well. So with this, I would need Yanika to help me to time so that I can concentrate. Thank you so much, Yanika. I will let down my hand as well. So Suisin, you will be delivering a speech, Journey to Victory. Over to you, Suisin, Journey to Victory.
My dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, are you all learning something in your life? Please raise your hand if you believe that you are always learning. Yes. This is the first step. When we are always learning, what is the second step? Do you know what is it? Whenever we are always learning, we are growing and growing and growing every time. And yeah, so what if we grow every day, every month, every year? What happens next? If we are definitely growing, that we are indirectly and directly inspiring the people around us. So, learning is the most important thing, and we are growing every day. And yes, we can inspire the people around us if we are growing. And the last thing is learn, grow, inspire. And the last thing is value. So if you are growing and inspiring the people, there is always value in your life. Let me tell you, last year, 2023, January, I was starting this speech, motivational strategy. And this year, at the end, I completed this pathway. Within 1 year, what happened to me? And how about you? In your whole pathway from the start till the end, what is the outcome? Yes, for me, the outcome is Journey to Victory. Journey to Victory is an organization for me. Last year, January, I quit from my job, which is my main income. But I quit it because my soul was calling to me that it's not my passion, not my passion. I need to follow my passion. And what's my passion? I started to know little by little. And that is to become a public speaking trainer in Myanmar. So yeah, I quit from my job. And in my icebreaker speech, I introduced the people as that my dream is to become a public speaking trainer, and I'm passionate about public speaking and teaching. That's my very first speech. And in the second speech, my soul calling again that I want to do something. That's my passion, public speaking. I want to do something. So here you can see there is a Vanai, which is the organization Journey to Victory. So second speech, I started to talk about my dream, Journey to Victory, but I haven't founded it yet. I am just visualizing and delivering the speech. And yes, next speech, I was talking about my failure. Everyone, whenever you start something, what is the first thing happen? Do you know what is in the start of your journey? What happened to you? Yes, failure. Failure is the inevitable thing in our life whenever we try or start something. So there were so many failures in the start of the journey. Some of the people around me didn't agree to me to found this club. Even some of the friends who didn't want me to found this club, to run the club, and then something like this. And also, when I started my journey, yeah, this is the room that I started, and also location of Journey to Victory. You know, like this room right now, no one there in the meeting. First meeting, no one. Second meeting, nobody came. I depressed a lot. I even cry out loud. Even my friends, I invite them personally into their messenger. I call them No one came. What do you do? When you fail in your plan, what do you do? For me, like most of the people do, I stop everything. And yeah, my pathway is motivation and strategy, and I got a lot of motivation from my path. Even though I changed my thinking, my way of thinking. My mentor, Patricia, also advised me to change my focus and to change my thoughts. So in person, this venue is empty with no one. So I changed it into online. Yes. So when we conduct a meeting online, I started to have 4 people, 5 people, my friends come and join, and later 10 people, 12 people. Yeah. In my second level, level 2 of my pathway, yes, I can share some of the achievement in that organization. And yeah, third and fourth and fifth pathway, all the time, my speech was about only journey to victory, my failure, my dream, and how I get this dream from this pathway. And second pathway, I tried so many things. So yeah, everyone, last year, January, I was flawed. My dreams were flawed too. But now, at the end of this pathway, my dreams are so clear. I know what I want to do. I want to conduct a lot of public speaking events for the children and for the youths. And yeah, at the end of this pathway, I learned so many things. And I see the growth, how much it is important to grow every day, every month, and every year. To grow individually and collectively with your friends, with your teammates, and with everyone. And when we are growing every day, of course, we can inspire the people around us. And yes, now people will see the value of you and the value of your organization. So everyone, make sure you are learning every day, you are growing, and you are inspiring the people around you. And you will see the value, people who value you and what you value. Back to you, our Toastmaster of the day.
Fantastic. That was a fantastic speech. So, Cecil, I'm going to jump in right in your journey to victory. 3 things I like about you. You know your purpose. You know your passion. You know your people. This is one of the best that I've heard from you. I see your transformation because your purpose is actually to motivate all of us about learning, about never losing hope to learn. I like the way you have crafted your speech. Well done. Second thing, we feel your passion over the screen. Even though we are not on site, but I certainly feel your energy. So I feel in order for us to express our energy over the screen is never easy, but you have aced this. Well done, Suisin. The third one, connecting with all of us. Certainly you know your people very well. You know we are Toastmasters because we all want to learn. So you use your personal story to inspire all of us so that we can also think back. What is our journey in victory? What is our journey of victory in Toastmasters? So one of the things that I probably would like to highlight some of your potential, certainly to engage your audience even more by asking questions. I shared my journey to victory. How about you? What is your journey of victory? So you may want to add this on before you close your speech. The second one that I would like to recommend, of course, is to challenge yourself to really deliver your speech to a larger audience from different backgrounds and see whether you can motivate them and inspire them. Because end of the day, one of our rules or why we want to become Toastmasters is we want to master the skills and practice outside of Toastmasters, beyond Toastmasters, so that you can really, really engage more audience and certainly embody the true spirit of Toastmasters. Well done. Thank you so much, Suisin. With this, we are going to take a group photo, certainly. I think I'm within time. Yes, okay, I stopped before I green light, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna spotlight. Yeah, 1, 2. Beautiful smile. Come on. Yeah, 3. Wonderful. Thank you. Great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. Okay, great. Now we are going to invite our very final speaker before our power speaker comes and inspire all of us. And certainly she is Daphne. Daphne is also a very diligent Toastmasters. She has certainly stretched herself a lot outside of her comfort zone. I see she's ready to speak. So she's going to speak on coconut affairs. Coconut affairs, Daphne. Please unmute yourself because we can't hear you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Patricia. Before I start my speech, may I share my screen? Screen sharing is enabled, right? Okay, I'm going to play you a video. Let me see how to unmute. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? What you just saw earlier on when I shared the screen? Anyone? Try to guess what is it all about? Well, it is not a riot. People are not throwing, smashing coconuts onto the floor, of the ground, the road, whatever you call it. Basically, that is a very familiar scene for those of you who are aware about it happening in July every year. It is an annual affair. It just happened this morning, although the video that I show you was from the past years. What is it all about? Thaipusam, and people are smashing coconut, especially the Hindu. In Penang, it is not only the Hindu that smashes the coconut during Thaipusam. It includes the other supporters, I would say, especially the Chinese businessmen who believe in getting the blessing from the Indian gods. It happens every year when the silver chariot passes the road that it has to go along in reaching the waterfall garden temple. This scenery I have heard of it since I was young, and it still happens today, this morning, because tomorrow is Thaipusam Day for the Hindus. What does coconut have to do with this Thaipusam? Basically, it is the belief of the Hindu that smashing coconut actually breaks the coconut, and as the coconut water is so pure, it is a symbolic act in breaking free from the ego when we smash it, and the negativity that we have in us, or that our business or where our workplace is suffering. So much like the coconut tough exterior, which seals its sweet fruit, we too often conceal our gentle nature behind a protective shell. Well, at least I do. By safeguarding our inner self, it actually encourages us, by smashing the coconut, it actually encourages us to share our gift, our time, and compassion. And this is something that is symbolic in the act. Now, how about coconut that I want to bring into my speech for today for sharing? Because in the past, after the devotees have smashed the coconut, there will be ladies, children rushing and pick up the coconut, because it is believed that these coconuts has been blessed by the gods as they pass along the roads. And some of them actually pick up the coconut that has been smashed for the fresh. Why? Because next to tribalism, usually it comes to Chinese New Year. That is why people were picking up the coconuts that is left over. And why we can make a lot of Nyonya Kueh, a delicacy that is found in Southeast Asia, especially among the Chinese. We can make it using coconut. Other than that, as I mentioned, it is just next to Chinese New Year. In the past, yeah, when resources were limited and people are not that cash rich, they pick up the coconut and make it into kueh kapek, which is a Chinese New Year cookie for Malaysians and Singaporean alike. Why is it that we relate coconut, and why I relate coconut to all these tribalism and New Year cookies? Because coconut plays a small part in the cookies, which consists mainly of flour. However, with the added coconut, it actually brings up the flavor in the cookies and the Nyonya Kueh, the cake, Nyonya cake. And these things or these items are something that we usually share with people. The cake was it's a bite-sized cake. Those people who made it in the past, they would share with their neighbors or their families. As for this kueh kapek, it is a New Year gift that we usually present to the elders or to friends when we visit. And it is being shared when we go for house visit during Chinese New Year, especially to our friends or our family members, relatives, that you can just name it, and even for potluck. Now, what all this actually brings about, it is about sharing. Break the coconut hard shell out that covered the coconut. Inside us, there is always a soft part, and we can use our heart to share. It's a gift for others. And let's share it during the upcoming Chinese New Year. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, thank you, Daphne. Thank you. I'm going to jump right into evaluating your speech. I'll give you 3 E's. Entertaining. What is the other one? Entertaining, empowering, and also certainly very enthralling. Okay, I'm lost for words. Okay. Now, why entertaining? Because you have a lot of great stories at the very beginning. You show us a video, then you also have different virtual backgrounds. So for me, that is something that I love to see because I'm very virtual. Okay, so well done on being very entertaining. Now, secondly, empowering. Why do I say empowering? When we think about your title, Coconut Affairs, actually, I really have no clue what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be about coconut, right? How you make it empowering is when you about to end your speech, then you suddenly come up with a message. Hey, you know, you can actually use a topic on coconut to promote the value of sharing or the power of sharing. I thought that was, for me, wow, I never thought you can twist a story by using a simple coconut and suddenly you brought up the message of the power of sharing. So I really like that. The third one, of course, certainly is enthralling. Enthralling the fact that, you know, Daphne, I've seen you from day one when you first started to deliver a speech until right now. I'm so impressed and so inspired, and certainly enthralled me the fact that when you are learning continuously, this is the result that you get. You certainly have advanced so much, Daphne. And because of this, I want to give you a gift. What is this gift? This gift is the gift of engagement. I can see right now, actually, you are trying to engage every one of us in the background. And do bear in mind, some of us are from different culture and also different ethnic group. We may not understand the value of coconut. So you may want to start by using very simple thing like, how many of you love coconut water, right? I'm sure Mariana is a big fan of coconut water because there are so many health benefits. So these are some of the questions that can use to engage all of us from different walks of life. And secondly, to make your speech to the next level, if possible, you may want to really bring a real coconut. I love the fact that you have a picture of coconut, but you will, oh wow, that's even better. Okay, great. Now I really am very thirsty and I feel like drinking coconut water. So well done on your speech, Daphne. I would like to encourage you also to move forward to deliver this speech into a different type of speech so that you can bring out different values and certainly make this into a storytelling. Another thing is I would like to also share with you the idea of less is more. You just want to target a few things, whether it's food, whether it's festive season, using the coconut. In that way, you can really engage all of us. But other than that, fantastic speech. Thank you, Daphne. You certainly have achieved your purpose statement. Well done. All right. With this, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of our 9 speakers. And I can't wait. We are at 11:10 right now. But I'm going to invite.
We still have one more photo. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You
I forgot.
yeah,
Yes.
photo,
I have to
please.
photo. Yes. Photo.
All
Let me
right.
change my virtual back. Hang on. Let me change my virtual
Okay.
back. I'm just so excited. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for reminding
You're
us to
welcome.
take
I know
photo.
Stephanie wants to show the coconut water. Okay,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
gonna
yes,
count. 1, 2, victory smile. 3. Thank you so much. Great. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you, Patsy. Now with this, I would also like to invite our very final speaker. I call her the power speaker. She's going to share with us the power of hormones. She is a health coach and also an entrepreneur. She also co-founded a skincare company that's called Down to Earth. And she is more than, I have to say, she has helped me so much in my journey as a health enthusiast. So over to you, Mariana. The power of hormones. The power of hormones, Mariana.
Thank you very much, Patricia. My slides are loading. And as it does, I have a question. We all heard the question, what was first? Chicken or the eggs? Anybody know the answers? Well, we don't really have an answer just yet. I have another question today. What was first? But what comes first? Good hormone balance or excellent health? Or excellent health will promote good hormone balance? And this is the question that I will be able to answer today, hopefully. So we are talking about hormones. I just have to find my way around this. All right. So today I'm going to tell you 3 things relating hormones. What are they? How can we measure it or know that they are off balance? And most importantly, how can we fix them? And I'm going to do that all in 5 to 7 minutes. So what are hormones? Hormones, those tiny little invisible things in our bloodstream that we all love to blame when something goes wrong in our life. We are overweight. Oh, my hormones are responsible. We are too stressed. My hormones can't take it. We cannot get pregnant. My hormones is imbalanced. So these tiny invisible things are the blame for everything. But not just that. But can we even measure them? Ever try to measure a hormone? Well, we do have tests. And then when you get the result, I did that when I was in early 40s, and I tried to find out if I'm getting close to menopause. And my doctor said, well, based on your test, you are maybe or maybe not getting close to menopause. And why is that? And, oh, I forgot this one, but this is just a snapshot of how many hormones we have in our body. So obviously, 5 to 7 minutes, I cannot talk all about that, but I will try my best. So back to testing. I am a big advocate of testing because you only can change what you can measure. But can we really measure our hormones? It's complicated. And I would say, yeah, we might be, but the measurement, is it precise? The problem with hormones, they are come in a group. And when one is high, the other one is low. So when you measure it, depending what time of the day or the month, you will get different reasons. Like my favorite three, cortisol, serotonin, melatonin. It has a day cycle. We call it the circadian rhythm. That cortisol is high in the morning. So if you get a blood test early morning, you will get high cortisol levels, but no melatonin. Serotonin comes during the day, and melatonin is highest middle of the night because that is the hormone that keeps you asleep. So you cannot really measure them to get a proper view. Like if insulin is high, glucagon is low. Insulin gets you glucose down, glucagon gets it up. And there is the famous female hormones. If estrogen is high, testosterone is going low. And that depends on our circle. We all know women. And yes, men, we do have testosterone, just not as much as our male counterparts. So the solution, so we cannot measure it, but we feel that something is off. So what can we do to balance our hormones? And my suggestion is the WSL program. That doesn't tell you much. So let's see, what is WSL program? It's called the Whole Spectrum Life. And that is taking everything in account that we're doing every day. Exercise. And we have to eat a balanced diet with variations, food variations. And the water, don't forget you have to drink. And most importantly, I'm a big advocate of not eating anything. Fasting. You have to give your body a chance to heal itself. And breathing. The number one nutrient in our life is oxygen. And most of us only breathe for survival. We have to practice deep breathing every day. And of course, we know sleep like a baby, and we all should sleep like a baby. And most importantly, meditation. We already heard about it. And meditation is not about to go to retreats. It's about to find a comfortable spot in our home and relax. In my case, with a cup of latte. And if we do all this, we lead a whole spectrum life, then we can reach hormonal balance. So back to the original question, what is most important, balanced lifestyle or balanced hormones? And my answer is that the power of hormones, you have to be a self-directed leader as a Toastmaster. You have to take responsibility for your own health. Because when it comes to hormones, the power is within you. Back to you, Patricia.
Wow, thank you, Mariana. I love the speech, and I love the message. And let us, all of us, please type in the chat box, do you learn something from Mariana's speech?